Dancehall king Yellowman has his first album in over 15 years and comes to our stage to premiere its first music video. That British pop superstar Ed Sheeran is one of the top 3 most streamed artists in the world would not surprise most pop culture fans. But what may surprise many of us is that reggae is a part of Sheeran's musical DNA, a major source of inspiration in his artistic pursuits. Ed Sheeran's cousin, musical mentor, and a recording artist in his own right is on our stage to discuss this revelation. And as the reggae music fraternity continues to mourn the loss of veteran musician Dalton Brownie, today we hear from his brother, Danny Brownie, right here on our stage, all coming up. Plus, this week's trending and more. Welcome to the show, everyone. I am Winfred Williams. We'll be back.
On Stage with Winfred Williams, Saturdays at 9 p.m. on CVM. So much more than entertainment.
And we're back with our top 10 trending songs for this week, courtesy of YouTube.
Coming in at number 10, Masego and Shenseea with Silver Tongue Devil.
No matter what, you can be slick with that talk. If I'm willing, I will let you know.
Mike Will Made It featuring Nicki Minaj with What That Speedbout is this week's number 9 track.
Can't do buying all the bottles, what you can't do. Supposed to be shining, but she noticed that my chain do.
The number 8 track goes to Jafras with his new single, Company. Javelani and Ritical are number 7 this week with Murder.
Everything I got connect, let me tell you point blank. Head I what me I lack, if me catching my shop.
While Rygin King has Glue at number 6.
My girl, my love what you do.
Starting off our top 5, Intense, who is holding a meditation. At number 4, upcoming artist Nick Klein has up his guard. Alkaline has No Wife at number 3. And Squash Still a Roam at number 2.
Everything I feel me name them call. Tell them some firm and on the wall.
The number 1 track on our trending countdown this week is Squash once again, this time alongside Vybz Kartel and Chronic Law with Money We Love.
If I'm not 6, then I hope. Guys, you know we're bad for two. Tell some little boy from home.
And now take a look at these videos that were released in the space this week.
As mentioned by our guest last week, look out for upcoming artist Girl. These are the visuals for her single, Hard Feelings.
There's no hard feelings, no hard feelings.
D Major and Busy Signal put a twist on Wiz Khalifa's hit single, Something New, and made it their own.
Baby, come give me something new.
And from the Massive B collection, this is Junior Reid with Bag Alert.
This is Bag Alert. Tell them to secure the Bag Alert.
All right, so there you have it. Top 10 trending songs in Jamaica this week, and some new releases of music videos in the space. Stay with us right here on stage. Still to come, Ed Sheeran's cousin, an artist in his own right and mentor to the British superstar, will be right here on our stage to talk Ed Sheeran and to tell us about his reggae DNA. You want to be here for that. And later, the king of dancehall, first king, Yellow, will be on our stage with his first album in over 15 years. But first, Danny Brownie on Dalton Brownie, who we have lost this week. Veteran musician. Now, as the reggae music fraternity continues to mourn the loss of one of its most accomplished musicians, Dalton Brownie, on stage right now is his brother, Danny Brownie, to tell us what he can about the artist, the musician, and his tremendous contribution to our music. Danny, sir, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, our condolences to you and the family.
Thank you so much.
You know, I just can't imagine what you guys must be going through right now.
Winford, this is one of the hardest things we as a family have had to face.
Yeah.
We lost our dad in the 80s, 1987 to be exact. And since then, we have not had a death or anything like that in our immediate family. And this one just came as a shock. You know, totally unprepared for it.
Oh, yes.
You know, there's hope, everything was behind his recovery. And so at this point in time, the difficulty, one of the biggest difficulties of our mom being 95 years old, to break the news to her. That was one of the hardest things to do, you know, and we've jumped that hurdle and now we're in preparation mode for the next event, which will be his memorial.
How many kids was he father of?
Four.
Four kids?
4 kids, yes. All living overseas, and thankfully they're here. And we were able to see him prior to his passing.
What would you like to have us know about him that we probably didn't?
Well, Dalton was a gentleman, you know. Since his passing and just the outpouring that has come in and the comments, I mean, you know, he's my brother. So, you know, we don't see certain things. We know him as Dalton, my brother. But when the world and persons he has interacted with, we would call and say things we don't necessarily know. You know, consistently the thing that comes out is the gentleman he was. You know, he was a friend of many. You know, he was a teacher in the whole music fraternity. Almost every guitarist that we call say, boy, Dalton taught them so much, and they'd give some comments. You know, when he's on tour, because he's a touring musician, and he comes across even the superstars, the things they hear them say about Dalton, and they remember him.
Yes.
Because of his words, his kind words. You know, Dalton was a very deep person. He's well-read, and so, but he doesn't speak much. He's a very quiet soul.
Always.
You see Dalton, he's unassuming, you don't know. But if you get in a discussion with him, he knows so much. It always amazes me, you know, wealth of knowledge.
He was musical director for Freddie, wasn't he?
He has been that for many, many years.
Yes.
As a matter of fact...
we're talking about Freddie McGregor, for those who may be wondering. Yes.
Yeah, man. As a matter of fact, when I started, because Dalton was the one who taught me to play guitar, you know, and he was the one who handed down almost everything I accomplished. Dalton was handed down. He handed down guitars to me, taught me everything. My first tour I've ever done was I toured with Freddie McGregor in 1981, and he was the one who got me to go on this tour. As the baby of the band. They've always referred to me as the baby. And it's always amazed me how influential he was in his quiet way. I remember Rupert Bent, guitarist Rupert Bent, called and was saying to me that, you know, on tour, Dalton would speak. He was the musical director for Freddie, and, you know, having issues. And he was saying, well, that gentleman, how you just come to him after the rehearsal, and gently just say, you know, you could try this. Man, it's just amazing. It's something where you don't see normally. Because usually I have someone on top of them voice, giving direction. Dalton was, the way he did it.
Calmest.
Calm.
He's the quietest person in the room, always.
Yes, and yet he's effective.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So with Freddie McGregor, he has toured, where they started out from probably early 70s with the Generation Gap. Freddie was the lead singer.
They went that far back?
Yeah, man. So Freddie was the lead singer, Dalton was the guitarist in the band. And they formed a band from then. And he has always been with Freddie from then till now. I dare say he's probably his best friend. We're both best friends, you know.
Did he ever record any solo work?
Well, I know it's the one and two things, but the main thing is Brownie Bunch. You know, the Brownie Bunch is the 5 oversized brothers. We are the answer to Jackson 5. And so when we were quite young, we started out, and that's a whole story within itself, but we started out pretty early, like from in the 60s. And Dalton, he used to go to school with Dennis Brown. And so they had a group at one point. People don't even know about that, you know, a singing group. And when
so he's also a vocalist, because he does backup.
Yeah, man, Dalton is a great vocalist.
Yes.
So he started out then, and with the Brownie Bunch, the emergence of Brownie Bunch, he is our lead singer. He's the lead singer of the group. So any of the songs, you know, that you'd have heard is Dalton's vocals. Initially it was Clevie, who is an excellent vocalist. Persons don't know that. And myself was Michael for a time, you know, and Dalton was always Jermaine Jackson, you know.
You lit the spark in me and opened eyes so I could see the silver lining on the future that lies ahead. It seems you found the best in me, and I'm thankful. No more will I hang down my head. I'll give to you my heart instead. Blue skies, twinkle stars in the night, the wind and the earth.
You don't know, you would know that Dalton is the man in the room.
Yes.
He's always so quiet. He's directing, as you say, and you don't know that he's the director.
That's right.
Musical director here, making this happen.
Right.
Because he's always so together and so calm, which is necessary in the business.
Yes.
But someone is a load that somebody must carry. Just remain calm and in charge.
That's right.
And he struck me as that, because I've gone on tour with him, with Freddie in the US, a little small tour in the US also. So, and I've seen him on many, many stages around the world, you know. So yeah, it's really a shocking development for the music, and why, I don't know, we've lost one of the greats.
Yes. You know, we were just talking about, you know, some of the songs that Dalton has played on. I mean, Dalton has played on songs with Bob Marley. You know, he's played with all from the Gregory Isaacs to Dennis Brown. He and Dennis Brown were great friends. Most of Sizzla, most of his great, with Black Woman and Child. Some of the great dancehall songs, you know, Twice My Age, some of these songs. His legacy is far and wide, and he loves jazz. 1 in a million, I call it.
Definitely a musical column in this great music of ours, reggae, and brought us so much glory.
Yes.
Why, Danny, we just have to thank you and the family, the entire Brownie family, which is quite a family in music, in reggae, and to thank you for all of you. You have given us so much from Main Street. Just in case, this is a Main Street boss, a man who's brought to the fore so many great artists in our music himself, Danny. And now you're more behind the scene, Danny.
I'm still a musician.
Yes, of course. That's in your blood, man.
It's in my blood. I still produce music, but more on the gospel start.
Okay.
And it's all reggae. I'm also the chairman of Jamaica Music Society. And I'm really thankful to those who, you know, at this point in time, you know, take the time out to acknowledge my brother Dalton, the foundation he gave me. I'm able to rise to the occasion, to be a part of the industry. And I celebrate Dalton each day for that. I call him my hero. I was able to speak with him just before he passed, and it was a moment I will never forget.
We can't even thank you enough for what you all have done, the entire family. And again, our condolences. And what would you ask? And thank you so much for coming.
May I, for the opportunity for those whom we wanted to share, you know, we're having a memorial for him on Wednesday.
Yes.
It's going to be streamed live. And so it's Wednesday at 11 a.m. for those who want to. And there are further details that will come out. but we're doing this memorial for him on
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
Jamaica time.
Jamaica time, Wednesday. It will be streamed live on my personal YouTube channel, Main Street Videos.
Main Street Videos.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Danny. All right, so that's it. Another pillar of our music is gone too soon. Stay with us right here on stage. Still to come, the cousin of Ed Sheeran will be here talking to us about something that may surprise you. The DNA of reggae in Ed Sheeran and his music. That's what he'll be talking about. And later, the first king of dancehall, Yellowman. That British pop superstar Ed Sheeran is one of the top 3 most streamed artists in the world. Would not surprise most pop culture fans. But what may surprise many is that reggae is a part of Sheeran's musical DNA.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
And a major source of inspiration in his artistic quest. Jethro Sheeran is Ed Sheeran's musical mentor, cousin, and a recording artist in his own right.
You could never hold me down, watch me now, I'm rising up.
And comes to our stage to discuss this, to me, revelation. Right now, right here on our stage, Jethro Sheeran. Jet, sir, welcome.
Thank you very much. What a great introduction. Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure. All right, let's start by telling us about you. Upbringing, family, etc.
Sure, yeah. Well, I grew up in Bristol, which is southwest England, in a city that was very big, huge Caribbean, West Indian community. It was called St. Paul's, the city I lived in, or the area I lived in. And I grew up on reggae. My dad used to play it. My mom also. A lot of, Bob Marley's, Hugh Mundell, and all these kind of things. There's a very big culture there, of, particularly Jamaicans. And all my friends were, half English, half Jamaican kids and stuff on the block. And we used to hang out. And, it's a part of my upbringing and my culture. So that kind of influenced me a lot in my later years, the pulse and the kind of reggae influence in my music. And Ed was brought up in a place called Suffolk. It was kind of Midwest. And he was into singer-songwriters, but we used to meet up and, we're a big Irish family. We'd meet up at get-togethers, families, funerals, birthdays, weddings and things like that. And we'd exchange like what we were kind of brought up on. And I brought him over to Bristol when he was 16, and he was massively influenced by a reggae band called Lay Black. And that consisted of 2 artists, Bunji and MC Joe Peng. So he would, when he first toured, he would take their music and he would perform that. He would copy their lyrics and perform that on stage when he was touring it first. So he was massively also influenced by reggae music too. He's a big fan of Damian Marley also.
Okay, but you're said to be his mentor, his musical mentor.
Yeah, well, the thing is, why people say that is because I was the first person to bring him to a music studio, put him on stage for the first time. We recorded for the first time together. Before that, he was, recording at home on his sets up, whatever. I brought him to London and brought him to a studio in Limehouse in London. And he came down, he stayed with me for like a week, and we'd record a load of songs. And it's kind of interesting because he was always into his guitar and singing, but I was more into my beat making and rapping. And kind of influencing all sorts. And at that time, I'd just been in Trinidad living for a year. So when I came back, an artist from Trinidad had come back and collaborated with us. So he was more kind of rapso, sort of, reggae rapso kind of vibes. So we kind of collaborated with him a lot as well. So his first influence really was reggae, That was his first kind of collaboration in the studio in London. He was in my first video and I took him on stage and we performed together for the first time ever. And yeah, it was all kind of like early doors back then. No labels were involved, management and stuff. And it was a real kind of creative time.
Okay, so by reggae, you mean reggae and dancehall, right?
reggae, dancehall, exactly.
Right. And how different then were what you guys were consuming, what you were consuming, when compared with what your parents had consumed as reggae fans?
Well, I think they were kind of more lovers rock kind of reggae and stuff,
yes.
Whereas me growing up, I was into like Movado and all the harder stuff. Like, you know, definitely growing up in Bristol, I heard a hell of a lot of Sizzla, Capleton, Wendell, those kinds of things. And what's amazing is since we kind of had the Tropical House album with Contractor from Jamaica, it was Tropical House Cruises to Jamaica hit Billboard #1. And we had the likes of Sizzla, Capleton, Sean Kingston, Sean Paul, Damian Marley, Stephen Marley. And through that, getting the Billboard #1, we communicated through and the avenues, and we got to do some collaborations. So I've got collaboration with Capleton and Sizzla coming very soon. And the 2020 version, which is just out, the reggae edition, we've just done, featured Shatta Wale from Africa, who I'm also doing a collaboration with. He's from Ghana, amazing artist. I believe he was on this show previously.
Oh, yes, he was.
Yeah, so he's doing a track with me and Ed also. So he's an amazing dancehall artist. That's the kind of vibe that I love right now.
All right, let's talk about Ed a little bit here, because he got the break in pop, right? The big international breakout was in pop.
Huge. Ed has the highest selling tour of all time, like the most attended, and they made the most money of all time. He beat U2, so he'll be in the Guinness Book of Records forever, I think, because of the COVID-19 thing. Unless that sorts itself out, he'll have that record forever. So he had more people go to his tour than anyone in the world. So he's pretty amazing. Like seeing him go to pubs and clubs when I was like 19 or whatever, seeing him when he was young, performing in front of 3 people, I would never believe. Like I went to see him at Wembley Stadium in front of 90,000 people twice in a row, and it would just like blow mind. Just to see him out there performing in front of so many people was incredible, and it just like it was almost like his face couldn't believe it. He's playing the guitar, just like what the hell? And it's just incredible. But some of the footage I saw of Bob Marley back in the day in Jamaica, that was awesome too. You know, that's real spiritual kind of to me, seeing that sort of the power of music when he held the 2 politicians' hands together. Yeah. To me, really using music to bring people together. And I think that's what it's about. Music's about the spirit, ultimately. And, you know, there's always a conflict between business and art. And, yeah, I think with Ed, he's a great, fantastic writer, and he's a pop star, but he's taken a year out to reflect and do what he wants to do, and I really respect that massively.
He's more or less taking time out to focus on making a family, right? Because he was married.
Yeah, he just had a daughter, Lyra Sheeran, as his first child, so he's obviously very much like, you know, taking that on board and just realizing what life's really about. I mean, when you look at your child for the first time, you really realize what life means. What happened to me anyway, and I'm sure he'll be the same. But, you know, it's going to inspire him. And I believe his new music is going to be totally inspired by a different perspective of love, because a lot of his stuff is pop and it's commercial. It's about love songs, but I think that was breakups, and it's quite sad. And I think now it's going to be a different perspective. He's got a new, you know, in lockdown, there's no experiences. You need experiences to write music, I believe. And I think this is his experience that, you know, my early music was about my daughter. Skylar Rain was one of my biggest songs that he actually featured in the video. So I think, you know, it's going to be a very interesting album he'll come out with next that he writes, because he's going to feel that special love with his daughter, and it's going to be something special for him and a brand new. But he's kind of taking time out, painting a lot, doing his thing, chilling out, writing more music, and just like the rest of us, locked down.
All right, so talk about Shape of You for me, a dancehall record, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's got a rhythm. He actually wrote that for Rihanna. That wasn't his record. He wrote that for Rihanna. And he went in the studio, and the producer said, "Are you crazy? Like, this is a massive tune." And it ended up being his biggest tune ever, and it's got that kind of rhythm, you know. So that was another of his, you know, that song came from the back influence, I believe, you know, that dunk, 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 like that kind of old clips, the rhythm, Afrobeat style, whatever, reggae, as it were. You know, that's his biggest song to date. Shape of You is the most streamed song on Spotify in history. Second is The Weeknd. The Weeknd has slightly more listeners and followers, but Ed song, Shape of You, which is a reggae song, in my opinion, what the groove is. I wouldn't say it's so much a reggae song, as it were, but the groove is a reggae groove. You know, that's the most streamed song in history ever.
Wow.
Me and Ed had a #1 in UK, and it's called Raise 'Em Up, and it's got a very similar vibe, that calypso, soca vibe kind of thing. So, yeah, it just shows that, you know, what people want to hear is reggae music, ultimately, or what any music that stems from reggae. Even the UK right now, all the trap music, all of it stems from reggae music.
Do you think that Jamaican artists are underperforming in terms of commercial success?
That's a great question. I know Popcorn. I spoke with some people from his camp. I'm working with loads of Jamaican producers and engineers right now. We actually have a new song with Ed on a Jamaican, like a Latin reggae vibe from a Jamaican producer. And it features Debate, who did Rockstar, and Ed Sheeran, and myself. And Popcorn was on the original.
Yeah.
But because he signed to Drake, there was some issues there, so he came off. But we're doing something else with Popcorn coming up soon. But like you said, I think they are under kind of delivering in sense of, you know, I believe Sizzler was on DJ Khaled's album. There was this kind of weird scene where Snoop Dogg came to Jamaica when he was like Snoop Lion, and there was that whole kind of weird thing. And I think people come into the Jamaican culture and, you know, the reggae culture, and they take a lot, but they don't, you know, promote enough the local artists. That's what I truly believe in myself. Like, I think there's so much talent there. There's so many amazing artists and songs to come out. And I mean, I've done a song with Wayne Wonder, In My Arms. He's a legend to me because I grew up listening to him.
Oh yeah.
And I finally do a song with him. So, and I'm also doing a song called Miracles with Julia Marley. So he's another one, because to me, he's more conscious and a bit more, he's kind of conscious and pop at the same time. So his last album I loved. I really enjoyed that. Big up Reggie, his manager. So we've got a song called Miracles coming soon as well. But, you know, I love his style as well because he's very conscious. There's not too political and not too kind of dark. It's kind of pop reggae, but conscious and thoughtful. I like that too. But Sizzler and Capleton is what I'm excited about the most. Big up Contractor for that one.
Okay, cool. But have you guys ever been to Jamaica? Yourself or Ed?
No, we haven't actually, neither of us. I've lived in the Caribbean. I've lived in Trinidad for many years. Yeah, my daughter is from Trinidad. Her mother, my ex-wife, is from Trinidad. She actually lives here in Denmark now, where I am right now. So I spent a hell of a lot of time out there. I've been to Barbados, Grenada, obviously Tobago, but I've never been to Jamaica. But next year, once we release these songs with Capleton and Sizzler, we plan to do some videos out there. So if the COVID allows it, we're going to be doing some videos out in Jamaica next year. So I have to come on the show live.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do right now then, Jethro, is to throw to one of your songs.
Everybody hands up there. Come on. Raise 'em up. Hands in the sky, let the music vibe. Now throw it up higher, raise it up. Throw it all around, move the rhythm up and down, scream it out louder, raise 'em up. Hands in the sky, let the music vibe. Now throw it up higher, raise it up. Throw it all around, move the body up and down, scream it out louder. This is for the bottom and the have-nots, the quarterback cap. Yeah, the everyday heroes that came up and zero put the pennies in the stash box. This is for the mix and the mashups, the ones left behind trying to catch up. Guys in the truck picking trash up, night shift nurses put a little cash up. If you're feeling a little down, it's time to gather round. We're killing them with the sound now. God willing, we turn it out, spilling a ton of dopeness, billing them by the pound. Hands in the sky, let the music vibe. Now throw it up higher, raise it up. Throw it all around, move the rhythm up and down, scream it out louder, raise them up. Hands in the sky, let the music vibe. Now throw it up higher, raise it up.
There you have it, Raise 'Em Up. And that one is featuring the big man, Ed Sheeran. Okay, so that's great. That's a nice touch there for our viewers around the world. Your project with Sizzler, Capleton, Can you be more specific about when that's coming, that project?
It's going to have Shatta Wale, Sizzla, Capleton, and we're going to put that out hopefully January the 16th. That's the plan.
Okay.
So that'll be out next year for new, and it's a reggae-infused album, EP, 7 tracks with some amazing collaborations, and it's dancehall, it's reggae, it's hip-hop, soca, and pop. It's a mixture of everything, Afro-pop. So we've got a bit of everything. We've got some amazing producers from Uganda and Ghana, Nigeria on the album, and of course some producers and engineers from Jamaica too. So I'm really excited about this album. It's kind of where I kind of like sat back and did me on this one. Before it's been a lot of pop kind of books and commercials, vibes, and it's very kind of for the people, but this one is for the people, if that makes sense. Like this is about, and I just want to raise people up with the music, and I think there's no better than Sizzla and Capleton to come together with me to do this, and especially coming out of Jamaica, my biggest influence from music from this high, I think it's amazing. And to have Ed Sheeran on it, one of the biggest stars in the world, also is just amazing because you're getting different parts of different cultures and music and everything and putting it together, and it's going to be a global phenomenon, I believe.
Well, you know, Jethro, we're looking forward to that, and we hope when it's out, in January, you'll be able to come to Jamaica in the flesh.
Yes, exactly. That's the plan. I need some sun. Look at me. I look like tasty as hell. Need some sun, some jerk chicken, and some food, some lovely rice and peas, and just like some chill out time. That's what I need.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'll be there soon.
You'll definitely get all of that when you come.
Yeah, I can't wait.
All right, boss. Thank you for joining us right here on our stage. And again, looking forward. And he'll have Ed for us. And he's welcome anytime to our stage, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he needs some time out also. So, yeah, man, what better than come to Jamaica? Cheerios.
Okay, cool.
Come in.
All right. So there you have him right here on our stage, Jethro Sharon. We look forward to the new album coming in maybe the first quarter of 2021. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And still to come right here on our stage,
I'm getting married.
the first king of dancehall, Yellow Man. We'll be back.
On Stage with Winford Williams, Saturdays at 9 p.m. on CVM. So much more than entertainment.
Dancehall King Yellow Man has a new album. His first in over 15 years. And he's right now on our stage to premiere its first music video. Yellow, welcome, sir.
Yeah, man, respect.
Respect,
you know?
So good to have you, sir.
Yeah, man, every time, you know?
Okay, so how's the COVID, how did COVID treat you?
You know, it's a normal thing to me, you know, because, you know, from growing up, people have scorned me, so they get the chance to scorn me more, you know? so
Oh, no, Yellow. No, man, they love you too much.
Yeah, man.
Worldwide.
We just want the people to laugh, you know?
We know that. You're a first-class comedian.
Yeah, man.
And before we go any further, you know, we have lost some great ones.
Yeah.
Toots, Faluke, and just Sunday gone, we've lost Dalton Brownie.
Yeah. Good musician. You know?
Oh, yes. One of the top tier in the music class. And can you reflect a little bit on some of them that you have worked with?
Well, I work with Mr. Brownie. And, you know, me and Toots, we tour a lot.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, it's so sad, you know, we lost so many good artists and musicians. You know, and, you know, this year is a bad year.
Oh, my.
not a good year, you know.
A very dark period in our
Yeah,
existence,
man.
my
Yeah,
friend.
very, very dark. Yeah, but I know them in a better place still, you know.
Yes.
You know, because you know, God know what Him doing, and you know, it's unfortunate that them gone too soon.
Yes.
But you know, we are here and we grateful for life each and every day. And you know, not saying that, you know, we never want them beside us today. Everybody have them time, you know.
The COVID crisis has affected everybody in music, especially entertainment.
True.
The impact for you. Did you take time out to finish this album during this time? Because a lot of people are writing and doing things that they couldn't have done because of how busy they were before. Now they've gotten time. Some have found new inspiration, and we're hearing it, a lot of it, in some of the songs that are coming out now.
Yeah.
How would you sum up the impact of it on you?
Well, the COVID is bad and good because it gives us time to reflect
Yes.
on life and how important life is and how important the thing then that you forget about because you're touring, you know, so it's good, you know, and it makes me feel comfortable doing what I'm doing now.
Yes.
You know, because the tour, we're not doing the tour right now because of it.
Yeah, but isn't that the bad side? Your income is maybe cut. You're not earning as you used to.
Right.
Getting
you know,
out there and interacting with your fans, going to all these destinations that you would go to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because many watching now, we must remind them that you're an artist who is gone to places where a lot of Jamaican artists aren't able to go. They're not being called in some of these markets.
Right.
Some of them places we're watching on the map with the elections.
Yeah.
The American elections.
Right.
Midwest and all them places.
Yeah, we all.
You've gone through all of those places.
We all, you know, but you know, the first tour I did is Jamaica.
Yes. Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Across the island.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
With Crazy Jim.
Yes.
With I don't know if you remember that.
That ice cream, yeah, man. Caravan kind of looking thing there. Yeah?
Right. Yeah. You know, we tour right around the island every year. You know.
Yes. That it was in the early years of your career.
Yeah, man.
Because, you know, everybody was excited to see you in Yellow.
Yeah. True.
Everywhere you go.
That was the sound system time.
Yes.
You know, well, you know, all the sound system time when we had the lawn dance. You know, lawn is like a
it's an open space. That is,
you know.
With a fencing and...
You know, then there's keep on coming on the lawn, you know.
Yes. But you were such a sensation that people were coming out from everywhere just to look at you, just to see you.
Yeah, man, because me make Christian come into dance hall, you know.
Yes. Because you were the first artist to pull them kind of, you know, frenzied kind of crowd to places of entertainment as a dancehall artist.
Right, true.
You were pulling down and blocking roads. I mean, locking down Half-Way-Tree. If you walk out in Half-Way-Tree, traffic block.
Yeah, man, true. True, yeah, man.
Yes, so you were saying that relative to touring worldwide now, because you say your first tour was Jamaica. So and the world now, you've gone to places where many have yet to go.
True.
Because of your music. And again, that sensational impact that we experienced in Jamaica at the early years of your career was now migrated to foreign countries where people were coming out in massive numbers to take a look at you, Yellow.
Right. You know,
and to hear you.
Yeah.
And you haven't stopped.
Can't stop. And even I just get a call yesterday they want me to do a show next year in Alabama.
The southern US state, yes.
Yeah, I've been there already, but, you know, in saying that...
So you're going to tour that state?
But different area.
Yes.
But same Alabama
yes.
area, you know?
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you're home now and you got a chance to finish up this album. What's on it?
Well, we have 14 songs on the album. The title track is No More War.
Yes.
You know, we have Kiss Me Each Morning.
Yes.
That is the video.
That's the track we're going to drop shortly, yes.
Right. And we have Woman. A lot of man get the woman tonight. And we have Rubber and Sex Educational Class.
Mm-hmm.
We have No More War, we have Better Days. You know, it's like a different album now.
Oh, cool.
You know?
So any collaborations?
Yeah, well, I got me and my daughter.
Yes.
Collaborate. And we have other songs that we collaborate with right now.
And speaking of her, I don't mean to cut you, but the last time I saw both of you was at Rebel Salute.
Yeah, that's...
In 2019.
Right.
Yeah. January 2019, both of you. Let's take a little piece of that because that was magical.
Right.
And I want to ask you a question on the other side of it. Let's take a little piece of it, right?
Getting married in the morning. Didn't hear that church bearing. Sing. And so mix. I'm Maria Woman.
Nobody move. Say, nobody move. Come on, nobody move. What? Nobody move. I'm a real hot girl, so you know what I mean. Fresh like spring water, ever clean. Every man ups, me no know what they mean. Carry mama, you better get that. You don't know, say I'm in like the city. Face cute, body nice, I'm pretty. Man, run me down, but you better go sit down. Education up. Come on. Nobody move.
All right, so there you have them. King Yellow and daughter K-Rima at Rebel Salute. That went viral. That performance, magical. Yellow. Is that what happened when she performs with you? Do you take her on tour with you?
Yeah, man, I take her on many of the tours, but you know, she's a paramedic. You know, but most of the time I take her on tour with me. I take her to Europe. I take her to the US.
Yes.
Take her to Brazil, you know.
Okay. So that's why she's so seasoned on the stage, because you guys have you have a chemistry together on there.
Right.
And so that's...
And she watch a lot of video of me, you know?
Same.
So
she knows.
She know what to do.
She know what, because you are a fantastic showman.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? You could teach some of the youngsters a thing or two about performances.
Right.
You know, how to use of stage and these things.
Yeah, because we work out, you know?
Yes.
So we run up and down on stage.
Oh yeah, the physicality, magic. Look at the man is so fit. Yellow. All right, so Yellow, let's take now the track from the album right now.
Kiss me each morning for a million years. Hold me each evening by your side. Tell me you love me for a million years. When it don't work out, then it don't work out, then you can tell me goodbye. Sweet my coffee with your morning. keeping by your side. Tell me you love me for a million years. And if it don't work out, or if it don't work out, then you can tell me goodbye. But if you must go, I won't tell you no. But you can say I didn't try. But if you must go, I won't say no. Still you can say I didn't try. Tell me you love me for a million years.
All right, so there you have it. A track from the album, Kiss Me Each Morning, right, Yellow?
Yeah, man.
And you're playing everybody in it.
Right, yeah, me, drummer, bass,
yeah,
keyboard, vocalist.
So, do you play anything, by the way? You play an instrument?
No, I don't.
You have to play the mic.
I'm going to play it in the video. You know?
No, but sometimes, my man, I old artist, you know,
Yeah,
can
man,
play
because
something, you know,
my
and we don't
daughter
know.
play guitar too, you know.
Oh, she does?
And she play good. Yeah,
Yes, nice. So sometimes she work with you on this album? She's on it, the album?
Yeah, man. She's on the album.
So it's 14 tracks. Any particular deal, any deal for distribution?
No, I think that my children them distribute it themselves, you know. That's why she have the Yellow Baby label.
Yes.
You know, cause
okay.
She produced it, you know.
So she's well established like that?
Yeah, man, yeah, man.
And
She
taking
know-
care of business?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and she's the management now too, you know.
Oh, cool. So she's managing,
Yeah.
she's producing, and
Right.
oh, nice. And it's available where? Where do people go?
On every platform.
Okay.
Everyone.
All the big music streaming platforms. You just go there for it.
Yeah.
And the name again?
No More War.
No More War is the
That's
name
the
of the
album.
album.
Yeah.
Right. So you can check it out on all the big platforms, be it
Yeah.
Apple Music, Spotify,
Everywhere.
wherever. Yes, Yellow. So the state of the music now, as you see it in this time, the dancehall music.
Yeah.
How do you read it?
No?
Yes.
No. Well, I can tell you that you got some good talents, young talents, and you know, but some of them you have to, I hope them have a producer who can have the mind of steering them the right path. That's evil when them get a little ager like me, the music they're still in the music business, still active.
Yes.
You know, but you have some great talent, young talent. I love young talent, especially coffee.
Yes.
Although I don't drink coffee, you know. But you know,
But
I really love her, you know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, man.
She gets everyone with her
she
music.
Yeah, and she surprised a lot of people, you know.
Yes.
Just like when I come in the music business, I surprised a lot of people.
Oh, yes.
She surprised a lot of people, and she even with the record company that I signed to back in the days, Columbia, you know.
Columbia, yes.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, they must be reminded that Yellow Man was signed from back in the 80s to
Yeah.
Columbia Records.
Right.
These things we have to remind some of them about, you know, because
Yeah, man.
nowadays it's such a big deal when somebody gets a record deal, but
Yeah.
back in those days, quite a few dancehall artists were signed
Yes.
by major label.
Right.
We want to see more of that now, Yellow, but
Yeah,
seeing
true,
enough.
true. But maybe, you know, the style of music, you know, it have to catch.
It's not as far reaching as what you had.
Yeah, you know, it have to catch into the big company like Capital and, you know, Sony, because, you know, Sony is
Oh, yes.
Columbia record, you know, Capitol record, and you know. But I hope a lot more younger artists sign in this time, you know.
Yes. Because it's helpful, don't it?
Yeah, man, it's very helpful, very.
Yeah, not only in terms of just some money, but in terms of markets and platforms.
You know, because you can even have them get the money, but you still don't sell out there.
You will get the money, but the support, but you don't. Nobody's buying you.
Right.
So you must be exposed and grooming and so on, and you learn as you go along to some of them.
Yeah, man.
Learn
and you
markets.
Get good experience.
Yes. But tell me though, do you think artists from your era, and even some after you too, like some in the 90s, because you come from way back in the 80s, one of the first trendsetters in dancehall who, in fact, you're one of the first recording stars.
Right.
In fact, you were the first biggest recording dancehall star in Jamaica's history.
Right.
With many hit records.
Yeah.
Hitting number ones like every week.
Yeah,
Yellow.
Like the chart of we control the whole top 10 from 10 go to 1.
Yellow man.
Yeah, man.
I run chart.
Yeah, man.
You understand? So you know, I wonder though, if you think that some of them artists of your era, and even some of the ones who came after you, were young, a little younger than you, if they should get on some of these new rhythms that are out there, right?
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely, you know, because the music change, you know. So you have to change.
You have to change with it. Yes.
You understand?
Change must come. Change is a must.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
You have to change with it.
So you would encourage.
That's the reason why I didn't do I was a half on 85 with him.
Yes.
So you have to change with the going. You know?
How difficult is that though, to get on these new rhythms?
You have to change the lyrics. Like you have to start get lyrics for that particular rhythm. Because yes, you can, it's easy for me on a reggae rhythm.
Yes.
But when it comes on to these rhythms nowadays, you have to start going at yourself and say, what am I going to put on a rhythm here? So you have to turn to a little young youth, like your daughter, you know? And she will say, Daddy, that, you know, that will fit it, you know?
Yes. So she's like grooming you on it?
Yeah. So
the flow, even the flow, the way you flow on it and what you're saying.
Yeah, sometimes we find the melody.
Yes.
And then she changes the flow with our brother them, you know, the other children them. So, you know, because them have the young mind.
Yes.
Them know what's going on. And then say, no, Daddy, you have to go that flow, yeah, go with that flow, yeah. Sometimes you want to mix it with your reggae flow, you know? But, you know, they would have said, yeah, you can do it, but not too much, you know?
They want to stay young.
Yeah,
they want to stay now.
Right, you know?
I totally understand, my friend. Well, you know, I want to wish you all the best, sir.
Yeah, man.
With the album. And no doubt your fans around the world will be digging in to see it, to hear it.
Yeah, man.
And we're imploring them to, again, go get it. That's the brand new album from the great first ever king of dancehall, Yellow Man.
No More War. No More War.
No More War is the title of it. Go look it up and listen. You know, you will never be disappointed when it's Yellow and a beat.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So all the very best, and thanks again for coming and sharing with us.
Yeah, man. Respect and enough love to the fans and the people, you know.
All right, sir.
Yeah, man.
Blessed love. So there you have him right here in this segment, the King Yellow Man. And that's our show for this week. Winfred Williams, on behalf of all of us, thanking you for joining us. Do join us again next week for more On Stage.
I'm getting married in the morning. Body move, make we do the Zungo, zungo, go zungo, ze. Zungo, zungo, go zungo, ze. Zungo, zungo, go zungo, ze. Searching, you will sell the right thing, I'm searching. You will sell the right thing, I'm searching. You will sell the right thing. Do it, gunman. Tell me where you get the gun from. You must get it from a foreign land. I found my dream.
Thanks for watching our video. Please click subscribe and be on our stage anywhere, anytime, always.